Hello everyone, it is the Afro Adventure with another album review, and this time, this is by request, by a fan of the show. This is Stankonia by Outkast. This album was released October 31st of 2000. Some chart information about it: peaked number 2 on the US Billboard 200, number 2 on the US Billboard Hot R&B Hip-Hop Albums, and it is certified 4 times platinum. It was released on labels LaFace and Arista, and its singles are B.O.B. or Bombs Over Baghdad, Miss Jackson, and So Fresh, So Clean. So without further ado, let's get this review started. After being able to acquire their very own recording studio, which they ended up calling Stankonia, hence the album's title, the group of Andre 3000 and Big Boy had much more time to work on an album that would truly become perhaps their greatest effort out of the many amazing albums that they've put out. Not only that, but they had more creative freedom to experiment with various styles of music to make this album truly unique to its time and era. Stankonia is an album that takes southern hip-hop and fuses it with the likes of gospel, rock, psychedelia, funk, techno, salsa, drum and bass, and so many other genres and subgenres. In essence, this album is the epitome of alternative hip-hop because of the sheer amount of styles this album mixes within its 24 tracks, and being that it's 24 tracks and a little over 70 minutes long, it certainly has plenty of time to display all it has to offer. Even in the album's intro, with all its spaced outness, you get a feel of what this album might be like, and the perfect word to describe this album would be different, but it's different for all the right reasons. Prior to this album, Outkast was releasing albums that, for the most part, were pretty laid back and calm. The previous album, Aquemini, in some ways began experimenting little by little, but come Stankonia, it's an all-out blast of diverse musical craziness, and that's exactly what makes this album so amazing. Being that this is southern hip-hop and that it's from 2000, we get to hear some early elements of what would become known as trap music on the track Snappin' and Trappin', which happens to feature Killer Mike, who you might know from his work in Run the Jewels with LP. Even more so, this is Killer Mike's debut appearance in the music industry, and how truly fitting, right? This album actually has quite a lot of really great features, including CeeLo Green on Slum Beautiful, Erykah Badu, who was actually romantically involved with Andre for a couple of years prior to this album on the song Humble Mumble, and a whole slew of other featured artists. The majority of this album deals with typical topics talked about in southern hip-hop, but often will take them in a different direction than what you'd expect. Of course, there's drugs, and that's quite often mentioned in hip-hop, but there are also things like hood luxuries on the track Gangsta Shit, and above all else, women. If all the themes of this album took a backseat to a single theme on this album, then that theme would be women in the hood in particular. Many of the tracks on this album discuss women in many different ways, like Miss Jackson, which was actually inspired by Andre's relationship with Erykah Badu, where they're basically apologizing to the mother of a woman that they were involved with for causing her pain in the wake of their eventual breakup and throughout the relationship, often using allusions to rain and storms to describe how the relationship was. We Love These Hoes takes a sarcastic look at how men will take what they can get when it comes to women. They could be complete slut bags, and they'll still take them, saying how we love these hoes, as the title suggests. One more really good one is Toiletisha, kind of play on the words toilet tissue, which mainly talks about young teenagers getting pregnant and not being able to handle the stress and pressure, but implying that these girls were pretty trashy to begin with, considering that the main character's name is Toiletisha. It's a really interesting take on a topic of women in hip-hop music, as most hip-hop these days likes to objectify women, while on this album they're typically taking that idea of objectifying women and examining it musically. Giving people a better idea of what women in the hood are actually like, and their own struggle, and that there's more to them than just being, eye candy for music videos. The album has a good number of humorous skits, as many hip-hop albums do, many of them also focusing on women, such as Kim and Cookie, where two women are gossiping about a man one of them had sex with, and how he was a minute man in bed. Another one is Prenup, which is the skit before the final track of the album, where Andre's asking a woman to marry him, to which she says yes, but then asks if she'll sign the prenup papers, and she angrily questions him like he's crazy. As good skits should, they really add to the story the album is trying to convey. As always, both Andre and Big Boy have an incredibly unique flow. However, numerous times throughout this LP, they have to change their flow up to accommodate the style of the music. Perhaps the best example of this is on the track B.O.B. or Bombs Over Baghdad, where the beat is said to be at about 155 beats per measure, and they incorporate a flow that they've dubbed the frantic flow in order to keep up with how fast the song is going. Moving away from lyricism and technicalities, let's move on to the music. As I've already said, a lot of experimentation went into this particular album. Even still, Each track retains the native southern hip-hop style, but each track incorporates something new, from Gasoline Dreams with its aggressive funk rock style to So Fresh, So Clean with its riff-based funky R&B sound to Miss Jackson with its melodic trip-hop style, and even B.O.B., which incorporates gospel vocals, drum and bass beats, and breakneck pacing. Each track is something new musically, giving the listener something fresh with each and every single track. And the skits are nice and short, so they never interfere with the flow of the album. As we near the end of the album, the last few tracks incorporate a psychedelic style that ends up closing the album out. And this really starts at Toilet Tisha, which is very much trip-hop mixed with R&B. Same goes for Slum Beautiful, while the final track of the album, the title track, Stankonia, or Stank Love, was said by the group to have a kind of throwback to Motown groups from the 60s and gospel groups with its soulful vocals and tight harmonies. Nonetheless, these three trippy tracks make a real great end to a great album. Overall, this is an incredible album. I would even go as far as to say that it's flawless because there's really nothing negative I have to say about it. I thoroughly enjoyed it from beginning to end, and the several times I've listened through it, each time was a new experience with the sounds and sonic experimentation. It's really hard to pick out my favorite tracks because really all of them were good. At the same time, no track was really weak. Each track had something that made them really unique and fun to listen to, be it the beat, the instrumentation, the lyrics, or all three. But if I had to pick my favorite songs from this LP, they would be B.O.B., Bombs Over Baghdad, Explosion, Miss Jackson, Humble Mumble, Red Velvet, Gangsta Shit, and of course the last three tracks. That's almost the entire album, so that really shows you how much I personally enjoyed it. And I recommend this album to anyone who loves southern hip-hop, alternative hip-hop in general, or anyone looking for something a bit different. I assure you that you won't be disappointed. Anyways, thank you all for watching this another album review. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If there's a song or an album that you want to see reviewed, just leave a comment down below, or hit me up on my Facebook or my Twitter. The links are in the description. And if you like this review, please hit that like button to show your support, and also subscribe if you want to see more of these. And anyways, I will see you all in the next review. So long.